Allow me to start this video by reading to you the description of what journey we are about to embark on. Katniss Everdeen has won the rebellion, and the citizens from all districts are now living in the new colony. President Snow is angry and sets up a new competition where Katniss, Peter, Gale, Madge, and Hamish must play in challenges against Edward Cullen. So hi guys, and welcome to my channel of Aro's Books, and welcome to another episode of Fanfiction Review, a title that I need to come up with a better one of. I've decided to do this less of a review system and more of a let's read fanfiction. That's probably what the new title will be. The first episode I read Mortal Instruments fanfiction, which were just weird, bit wrong, bit wild. They were weird, odd. And even though I know reading really bad fanfictions may not be everyone's cup of tea, it is my cup of tea. And so we're gonna do this together today. And so I decided to pick another book fandom to read fanfiction of, and that is The Hunger Games. So, I found a real interesting one. I read ahead a little bit, because I couldn't help, I had to know. I had to read this fanfiction. The premise, incredible. Tributes versus vampires. According to the author of this fanfiction, they don't own The Hunger Games, Twilight, Harry Potter, the Jonas Brothers, Gossip Girl, Lestat de Lion Court, or anything else famous mentioned in this fanfiction. So there's a lot going on with this already. And let me tell you, from what I have read, it is real funny. Like, this is put into the humor category. Like, I don't think it's something that's meant to be serious, which is why I'm okay making a little bit of fun of it. I'm not trying to make fun of the person who wrote this at all. I am grateful for the person who wrote this. We're not trying to laugh at them, we're just laughing at the ridiculousness of fanfiction in general and using this as an example. So let's just get straight into this. I just want to read this because I am so excited. This is 12,000 words. It has multiple chapters. We're just gonna read the first chapter. I'm gonna read the next chapters in my own spare time. I would read them all, but it would just make for a really, really long video. If you did want to like see me reacting to the next chapters, then just let me know down in the comments. I read all comments. This is the prologue. President Snow banged his fist into the meeting hall table as his colleagues rambled about suggestions on how to annoy the treacherous Katniss Everdeen. So Katniss Everdeen, the leader of the rebellion, you just want a way to annoy her, just like poke at her a little bit. I hate that Katniss Everdeen with her stupid pyromania disorder and unfathomable obsession with meddlesome songbirds. Ever since the Mockingjay forces defeated us, the hall went silent. They didn't like to think about their loss of power. It was true. The capital still ordered around the citizens who lived there, and many from other districts, but the whole population of their servants had depleted greatly. Oh no, not the oppressors losing. All because of that Katniss Everdeen, that lovesick bread boy. That is the best description of Peter I've ever heard. Lovesick bread boy. That grumpy not cousin. The drunken mentor. The piano girl. The poor capital could not even hold their precious Hunger Games anymore. I'm playing my saddest little violin for you, President Snow. Fancy not getting to murder children. Luckily, Katniss and the others agreed that if they were left alone, they would return the favor. Why would you ever agree to that? Like, hey, big bad enemy who we've been trying to fight, if you leave us alone, we'll do a favor for you. Like, why would you ever agree to that? You're the rebellion. What exactly is it you want to do, President Snow? Asked Vice President Rain. No one was positively clear on why Snow had called the meeting, but when he called a meeting, you'd better go or risk becoming an AVOX. Plus, he had many other torturous methods, such as making you listen to Jonas CDs. This line is what made me love this fanfiction before I even read the whole thing. The Jonas Brothers were a very old and bad band whose CDs were just unearthed from an architectural site weeks earlier. They say they were so bad that even the Jabberjays would not repeat their song. This is from 2011, by the way. Secretly though, President Snow quite liked the oldest boy called Kevin. Alright, what are we calling the ship of Kevin, Jonas, and President Snow. Well, Rain, Snow said huffily? Interesting. If we make Katniss Everdeen look incompetent in front of the nation, then they will be less likely to follow her as a leader. Big brains. I'm proposing a televised competition because we've never done that before. Sadly, not to the fight of the death variety. But we will make sure Katniss Everdeen loses and all her followers see her epic fail. Oh yeah, I get it, bubbled Effie Trinket. No one knew why she was there, but no one questioned it. Plus, if you get Katniss and Peter to be on TV again, then the mission might be back on your side. Whose side are you on, Effie? Asked an anonymous member of the court council, aka they couldn't be bothered to make a character. Effie shrugged, but you should pay more attention to that bit of foreshadowing, for it will resurface later. Instead of just like showing that like Effie might change sides, pay attention to that bit of foreshadowing, for it will resurface later. Pay attention to that. But, continued another member, how are you going to get Katniss to agree to this competition? My thoughts exactly. That is a fair question, Snow mused. Luckily, I have the answer. No one, not even Katniss Everdeen, can resist the charm of a sparkling, exquisite vampire. Exquisite is not how I would describe Edward Cullen. Also, just to preface, I've not read the Twilight books. I don't want to read the Twilight books. I wasted a lot of hours of my life struggling to get through the movies, but I was determined to do it. I was determined to get through those movies. I would not let them beat me. I'm not a Twilight fan. I appreciate how funny it is because those movies are so bad though. What exquisite vampire do you know? It's not Lestat de Lioncourt, isn't it? Asked a council member who was currently obsessed with Anne Rice novels. I don't know that reference. No, you idiot! President Snowfield. He's an Edward stan. I like this implication that President Snow is just like a teenage girl. He's just Twilight, Edward, Jonas Brothers, Kevin. He, for one, was so angry when Lestat woke the Queen of the Damned from her grave that he had written him off his BFF list. Just like that process, President Snow's a BFF list in this world. Plus, he never enjoyed the movie adaptations of the Vampire Chronicles. It was his worst fear that the Hunger Games movie would turn out like them. That's just the fans describing their fear of how the Hunger Games movie would turn out. Don't worry, compared to most other things, it's great. It's so great. Luckily, I have this much better vampire on speed dial, Snow continued. He then picked up his cell phone, checked his Farmville updates. His strawberries were in dire need of water, and then called his #1 speed dial. President Snow plays Farmville and has Edward Cullen on speed dial. What is this? I love it. The council members were silent when he was on the phone, a polite custom taught to capital children at a young age. I was taught that at a young age too, like you just quiet when people are on the phone. Hello, how are you? Are you in the middle of anything of late? Oh no, not the Volturi. Oh, I get it. This is all just Snow talking. I thought it was Edward talking and then Snow. Okay, I get it now. Yes, I'm talking about Katniss Everdeen. How did you know? There are rumors that Kristen Stewart might audition to play her? No! That's actually pretty funny imagery. Katniss Everdeen played by Kristen Stewart. I reckon she could do it actually, not gonna lie. You don't want her to do it? Yes, our fandom agrees. This breaks the fourth wall so many times. Snow is just the Hunger Games fandom in this fanfic. So you'll do it? Splendid! Come over at once. Edward's got a key. President Snow clicked off the phone after the council listened to his side of the conversation. He waited with bated breath for the guest to arrive, and when he did, it was Effie's scream that greeted him. OMG, it's Edward Cullen! And it was. Edward Cullen's crooked smile flashed from the doorway. His blonde hair was perfectly tousled. Tousled? How do you... I've never had to say that word out loud. I don't know how you say it. Pristine white skin sparkled in the sunlight that streamed in through the glass window, and his eyes were buttery brown. What's a buttery brown look like? Butter is like yellow. That was the great thing about vampires. You could always tell when they were hungry, and you should offer them a snack. Here, have my friend. He is human. Nom nom. What's the plan? Meanwhile, Hamish had just finished his 78th, exaggeration, bottle of vodka. And the rest of the gang was lounging around the dense forest that surrounded the new colony. Gale was unsuccessful trying to teach Madge how to set a snare, while Peter painted a picture of them. Well, isn't this quaint? That looks nothing like me, said Gale indignantly. My arms look like twigs. This is how Gale speaks. Exactly, said Peter quietly. He thought no one heard him, but Katniss didn't hit him softly. Sure, Peter and Gale had their differences, but now that Gale was dating Madge, they got along better. I can't remember who Madge is. Oh, her. I barely remember her. I don't know why I was picturing Madge as the old lady. Over their chatter, a buzzing noise, sort of like a fan, seemed to be... This is how they described a helicopter. Like a buzzing fan. I get it, but I think a helicopter's a bit more intense than a fan. Katniss, Peter, Gale, Madge and Hamish knew that sound well enough to know that it was a helicopter, so why did you describe it as a fan? Katniss looked at Hamish and he looked gravely back. Who could it be? Asked Madge worriedly. I have a hunch, returned Gale darkly. Peter wrapped his arms around Katniss' shoulders tightly, and she reached for her bow and arrows she took everywhere now. Imagine, like, you're trying to take out your bow and arrow, be all prepared for battle, and your boyfriend's, like, putting his arm around you, and you're like, I need to get my arrows, Peter. Looking up, they saw a person that they never wanted to see again in the passenger seat of their copter. It was President Snow, and he looked angry. And Prim and Mrs. Everdeen ran over, sensing that their third member was in danger. Okay. I don't even want to read this sentence out loud, but here we go. And though Edward Cullen had tried to convince many people, including Bella Swan, in the past that he was dangerous, really, he just looked just like a super hot male model when he strutted out of the helicopter. Katniss dropped her bow instantly. She's not the type of girl who usually took looks into consideration. Peter's hotness was just a bonus. She had resisted Finnick Odair after all. But Edward Cullen was a different story. Who is that glorious creature? She breathed. How are people attracted to Edward Cullen? I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't relate. I don't get it. Gale and Peter looked at each other and agreed on perhaps the first thing they agreed upon since the importance of Katniss' safety. I hate that guy, they said together. I am team Gale and Peter. And Peter decided the amount of cookies he would have to bake to have a shot at his beloved's heart now. A love song was playing softly in the background as Katniss and Madge were entranced by the vampire's presence. Where's the music coming from? Where's that music coming from? Peter asked annoyed. Oh, this, answered Edward charmingly. That's just my iPod Touch. Emphasis on the touch. He pulled the old school electronic device out of his slacks pocket and beeped alarmingly. Oh, don't worry, he said to the startled Katniss and Madge. That's just an alert telling me some new news on the Eclipse movie. There's an app for that? Oh no, there better not be an app for that. There's an app perfect for you on the iPod Touch. Even vampires love them. Stared into some visible camera to the left and smiled. The others were not accustomed to impromptu infomercials, so they did not... Oh, he's advertising the iPod Touch. I get it. They were not aware of the vampire marketing campaign Steve Jobs had just launched. Okay. By then, Snow had walked over too, and was much less welcome than Edward. What do you want, Snow? Hamish bellowed, and Katniss got back her senses, and picked up the bow and arrow and prepared to shoot the president. Just prepare to shoot the president, it's fine. Hang on, said Edward in a suave fashion. Let's be hasty now. I think that's supposed to let's not be hasty, but it's like, let's be hasty. Let's shoot the president. We haven't even begun to get to know each other. He placed a hand on her shoulder and she looked dazzled. If it was possible for Peter to scowl, the event would have taken place then. Why can't Peter scowl? Why, because he's too much of a bread boy? We were just wondering, said Edward as Katniss melted some more. If you were interested in a little friendly competition. Great! President Snow clapped his big hands. Now I'll tell you the rules to this shindig. Why do they talk like this? What? Gale asked aghast. She is not in a fit state to answer important questions right now. Don't any of our opinions matter? No, answered President Snow swiftly. Don't worry, Gale, said Katniss. Edward's not going to hurt us. Edward smiled benignly. Edward is going to hurt you. Okay? Edward, big boy vampire. He gonna hurt you. Yes, Gale, you're being impolite, Madge scolded. Edward put his free arm, the one that wasn't around Katniss, around her skinny shoulders. Hold on a second, Hamish began. Who the heck is this guy? He's only Edward Cullen, the vegetarian vampire hero from the Twilight series. What a way to describe him. If I was to describe Edward Cullen. Manipulative, toxic, dangerous freak would be the term I use, but vegetarian hero, okay. He's just a vegetarian that eats animals. I personally think Jacob Black is better, at least. He didn't leave Bella unprotected in a forest. Yeah, Prim. Tell him. Edward looked outraged and sad. He was trying to protect her, Prim, shouted Madge. Even Katniss knows that, and the only book she reads is How to Kill the President in 3 Easy Steps. Who wrote that? Who wrote How to Kill the President in 3 Easy Steps? And why hasn't... The president's there. If she wants to kill him so bad, she just can. Now President Snow looked aghast. Who published that book? I must have them assassinated immediately. Anyway, back to the rules. Seeing as you already agreed to the competition, we are going to broadcast 5 days of you 5 competing in challenges against Edward here. There will be no death at all, sadly, but it will be broadcasted across Panem, like the good old days. Good old days of child murder. Since I'm in a good mood today, possibly because Blair and Dan seemed like they were going to get together in the last episode of Gossip Girl I watched, I'm going to let you pick what you want the competitions to be. What's even the point of this? They just have to fight Edward Cullen because... Hamish, Katniss, Peter, Gale, Madge huddled together and thought about it. After a while, they put their hands in and shouted, Mockingjay Forces! In a sports team fashion. Peter and Gale were still feeling rather betrayed by their girlfriends, but that would have to be dealt with later. Well, asked the president curiously, what will Edward be competing in? Being a spider monkey? Throwing his girlfriend out a window? A cake-off, said Gale steadily. Against me, Peter finished. Tune in next time for the cake-off of the century, info on President Snow's glee obsession, and Peter and Gale's growing friendship, tolerance of each other. And that was Chapter 1, Meet Edward Cullen. The next chapter is the cake-off, then we have the drinking contest, then we have squirrel wrangling time, and then we have archery and seriousness. I don't know what that means. This was all pretty serious, like heavy stuff. President Snow watches Gossip Girl and Twilight. Edward's in the Hunger Games universe. So that was something. That was just funny, honestly. That was just so entertaining. We love it. We love that. Wow. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did. I will have a link to the full fanfiction below if you want to read it. Once again, nothing against the author of this. If I was making fun of you, it's not intended to be that. This is just a little bit of fun. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please feel free to give it a like. Or if you want to see more content from me, you can subscribe for future videos. Or if you want to have more of my videos recommended, you can stick around to the end card for those. My battery is about to run out. If you have any other fan recommendations for fanfic you want to see in these series, put them in the comments. If you want more of this Hunger Games fanfic, put them in the comments. Tell me how your day's going, put it in the comments, and I will see you later. This is Aoros Books, over and out.